grip was finished an hour before the light, and he knew it was done the way you know a note is in tune, not by the gauge, but by the thing in you that goes quiet when it's right. At first light, they came to prove it. In Halgren, a grip is proved on a living hand.
Pilot was 19. Renki, the lowest grade they will still strap into a frame and call a soldier. Her palms were a map of old scars because the last 3 machines she sat and tried to crush her hands. And even Renki stands a rung above me. She was born able to take a frame sling. I never was. A norm never sits a war machine, so the only machine I could save was the one I could never ride.
Top there's a brass ring, scored to shear at the exact load that breaks the small bones in the back of a hand. Ring holds, the grip passed. Ring shears, and so does she. Brannock seated it himself by hand. Your father seated his own rings too, he said. Wouldn't trust a trolley with another man's bones. The socket is a steel cup in the heel of the machine's hand, ringed with the jaws that lock a pilot in. She fed her bare forearm into the cold of it. In Halgren, the instrument they true a war machine against is a girl. It was as frightened as a person can be while standing perfectly still. And then, 9 meters up, in the empty cockpit no one was riding, the pilot's cradle eased back 2 degrees, slow, the exact motion a chair makes when it takes a weight to spare it. Nobody was on the gimbal. Nothing on that frame had the power to move a strap. It had felt a frightened thing come aboard, and made itself easier to be inside.
Number on my wrist doubled, not from the grip, from a chair. From the smallest kindness a machine can do, for a girl no one in Halgren would spend a mark to comfort. It counts more when it's for someone else, not for the test, not for me, for her.
Clerk threw the lever. The jaws came in around her arm, and the whole floor leaned in for the small, ugly tick of shearing brass. 1, 2, 3, nothing. 6, nothing. 10. The ring held. Dead on the line, the first time in 30 years that machine's hand had closed on a human arm and held it exactly as hard as it was meant to, and not 1 grain harder. He drew her arm out whole. Old scars, no new ones, and she laughed cracked and furious and alive. It held me, she said, like it was being careful. The clerk read the gauge twice to be sure of it and chalked a single figure on the board, dead on tolerance. In 30 years, he had never once written that number on this machine. Floor had come to watch a hand break and found it had bet against the wrong man out loud. She held her whole hand up flat, so every one of them caught the gray light on it. No new scar. That, she said, is what a grade 4 did in 6 days. 30 years, the old foreman had walked pilots to that socket and shaken every morning, because there was never a morning he could tell them it would hold and not be lying. This morning, he did not shake. Something in the yard still remembered the name Rel and had just thanked his son the only way it knew how. Grip holds, said the grade 2 with the dry boots. Pity there's no line on the docket for a handshake. Friday they test the knee, not the hand. 500 tons on a joint 2 dead men once argued over, and it has failed that test every year the yard can remember.
It fails Friday, he told the floor, the machine goes for scrap, and my tag goes on the same stroke of the pen. He wants me on my knees in the mud for it in front of everyone. So I told his back to put it in writing. 11 to 1. Chalk it next to the 0 so Friday, when it stands, no man here gets to misremember the number.
I picked my spot, she told him. On the shoulder where the numbers go, every pilot does, the first week. Mine's been picked 11 months. This is the first morning since they conscripted me that I haven't looked at it. Make it stand, Rel. I'll pilot it Friday.
With the knee on his back in the black water, he found what 2 dead men had argued over, and the thing near of them would say they were both wrong. He knew the fix. He could draw it tonight. But a grade 4 does not draw. His father drew a fix that would have saved 1,000 hands, and they hanged him for a line on paper. 4 days. So he would find another door, or he would make one.